Hey guys, so here's the deal. We are obviously not going to get to the 3D aspects of Unity in this class. We just don't have enough time. So for this special week, I'm really excited for to give you a little bit of a tutorial on a 3D Unity project. So remember, this is 100% optional. So let me underline that. 100% optional. You do not have to complete this special project for this week. But if you do and you turn it in, I will replace your lowest grade in the class. So that can be a big deal. Obviously, it won't replace your final exam, but it will replace your lowest project grade or quiz grade. So I'm super excited to walk through this Unity project with you. It's probably one of the most simple 3D Unity projects you can build, but it will introduce you to the main aspects of the 3D rendering of Unity. And next unit, Unit 10, which starts next week, is going to be much easier if you at least take a look at these tutorial videos. So let's just dive right in and get started. So I am using Unity 5 on this computer. You may have Unity 4 downloaded. That's totally fine. Either one will work. Some of the menu items and things are going to look a little bit different, but remember, it's the same concept. So if you see me going to new project, yours just may be in a different area, but it's 100% the same steps. So let's just launch Unity right now. And this is where the big difference comes in really with Unity 5 is how different this menu looks. So yours looks a little bit more retro, but you're basically doing the same thing I'm doing. What you want to do is go to new project. So you want to start a new Unity project. All right. You want to name your Unity project. I'm going to name it, let's name it The Ball. All right, because this is a game about a sphere and his quest, which we'll talk about later. The Ball is what I'm going to name mine. And then let's take, make sure that it's in 3D mode, not 2D. So make sure it's in 3D mode. You can put it in any location that you like. I put mine directly on my data drive in Unity Project, in a Unity Projects folder. And then the name of your organization, if you have one, mine is Koyumi. So we have all this ready. Make sure this is on. If yours looks just like this, you're ready to get started. So we're going to click on Create Project. All right. And remember, it's the same steps if you have Unity 4. The only difference is you're going to be, all you're doing is going New Project, and then you're selecting some kind of directory on your computer for that project to go. So it's going to open up directly into the Unity editor. If you have Unity 4, you'll see it. You'll see like a little cool picture before, but it's the same thing. You're going to end up right here. Now, you may have some of these menus maybe look a little different, but you will have your inspector at the top right. You'll have services. You'll have your console at the bottom and your project at the bottom. Now, your console may be over here. That's cool. It does not matter. So for this one, we're really more interested in the projects folder anyway. And you should have a folder down here called assets, which is empty. So remember, the first thing you must do in every single Unity project is save your scene. So right when you come in, go to File, Save Scenes, and save the name of your scene somewhere. Okay, so this is super important because we obviously want at least one scene. Remember, scenes are kind of like your layers, or not your layers, your frames in ClickTeam. So we want to save our scene, and we're just going to say, we'll call this level 1. All right, you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it level 1, and I'm going to hit save. All right, so now my scene is saved, and you can see down here in my assets, I have something added. It looks like a little Unity symbol. This is just saying that I have one frame added to my game. So here is my blank canvas, and as you can see, it's a little bit different than it looked whenever we were playing with it the first time. This looks like a 3D world. All right, so we're not looking at a plane, a flat plane like we were in 2D mode. We are looking at, and now you can switch it over to 2D if you'd like. But we're looking at 3D now. So this is your blank open world. So let's go ahead and add our first 3D object. So, for me as a gamer and as a game designer, this was a big moment for me that I was really excited about when I did this for the first time. So game object, 3D object, and then go to plane. So it's going to add, what is a plane? Now this is pretty cool. This is like your first Unity level. You can see that it's totally flat. You can almost see directly through it. And it's also only one-sided. So if you look from the bottom, it's kind of hard to see. But if you look through the bottom, you can see up through it. So a plane in Unity is one-sided and it's facing up. So this is our plane. It's pretty cool already, right? So we click on our thing. This is our blank level. We can rotate around it. We can move it around. So the first thing we want to do is go to our inspector. Remember, your inspector basically lets you do, lets you set anything that you want about the object. So we want to change something about our plane really quick. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go up to the top right under transform, click on the settings menu. It looks like a little gear, and then click reset. And what that's going to do is it's going to reset our pane to 0, 0, 0. And that's where we want it, because that means that the center of this plane is right dead center of our game. We know that, and it's going to stay there the whole game. Okay, so, and that's really, that comes in handy for calculations. So you'll know this in Unity that you're going to do a lot of calculations. You're going to be calculating a lot of, like, okay, how far from the center, how far from this point. So if your hotspot of your level is dead center set 0, 0, 0, it's going to make those calculations much easier. So we have this done. We have our plane. So now let's add our player, or our 3D object. So I'm going to add a simple sphere. You could add anything you want. This is a cool part. This is where you can start bringing in, if you use Blender and you created 3D objects, this is how you bring them in. So game object, 3D object, sphere. All right. And now you'll see that it's kind of in a weird spot. It kind of puts it in a random spot. So same thing. It's on focus now. So we want to go to inspector, transform, settings, and then we're going to go to reset, and that's going to put it again at 0, 0, 0. So we've already kind of ran into our first problem, right? So it's at 0, 0, 0, which is great. The hotspot of this ball is dead center of our level, but it's inside of the level, and that's kind of a problem. Well, in Unity, the default sizes for most objects are always going to be 1 by 1 by 1. And you can see that right here under scale. It says 1 by 1 by 1, right? So if that ball's 1 by 1 by 1, then all we need to do is move its Y position. So we learned in Click Team that Y is up and down. We need to move its Y position, which is represented by this little yellow dot here. And as you can see, that number is changing, right? It's going up and down depending on where our ball is. We need to change it to 0.5, and 0.5 will land it directly on top of our sphere. So now that ball is sitting exactly on our sphere, and it's kind of hard to see, but I can kind of try to get under it a little bit, and you can see that it is sitting exactly on the plane. So there you go, right there. All right. So cool. So that's it for today. So that was pretty quick, right? So you might want to rename your sphere. All right. So you can go to right click, rename, and let's rename this to player. All right. Or you might do player 1 if you're going to have another player, but we'll need to rename this to player because that is going to be our player, is going to be the ball. And one more tip, just for a fun tip, if you ever click on an object and you hit the F key, it's going to focus it. And that's actually a really cool, quick shortcut that I use a lot. So if you want to focus on an object, you want to put it in the center of the screen, all you have to do is click on that object and hit F, and it will focus on that object. Or you can click on it over here in the plane or the pane and do that as well. So anyway, really good quick tip. So we have our first 3D world starting to take shape. That is it for the day. Make sure that you go to File, you go to Save Scenes, save the project as well. So when you save a scene, it's going to save that frame that's in your assets folder. If you save the project, it's going to save everything. So it's going to save anything that you've connected, the shapes, the scripts, anything. It will save it all at once. So that's a good thing to do. So once you save the project, then just stand by, get really excited, and I will bring out another video tomorrow for you to follow. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in class very soon. Bye.